Hey everybody, time for another episode of This Week in Real Estate, and we're going to be talking about basically market activity, daily activity here in East Central Indiana and the housing market. As you can tell, I'm not quite on location anywhere. I'm in between locations. I'm out driving, doing a fair amount of driving today for a couple appointments, and so I'm in the truck. So I hope you can hear me. I don't know if you can hear me through this or through that, but it's kind of windy. The truck's kind of loud, so I'm sorry if I'm screaming, and I'm sorry if you can't hear me. So we'll have to figure that out. So last week, another busy week considering. So we had got an offer accepted for the house on Maryland Street in Parker City, so that was good. We're just starting that process. I have a fair amount of other transactions that I'll consider in process, and that varies across the board as far as where that is. So we have some, like I had an inspection today on one, and so we'll be talking about that tonight or tomorrow as far as our inspection response. Some are past that stage into the appraisal. Some are past the appraisal stage and into underwriting, and some are coming out and we're trying to schedule closings. So, with a handful of transactions going on at once, they all kind of have their own path, and we're kind of just working our way through those. And so that takes up a fair bit of time as far as communicating and paperwork and all that stuff. So that's typical within a week, but. And in between all that, of course, I'm out there showing properties, and last week kind of ran the gamut of first-time home buyers, met with some, looked at a couple commercial properties for somebody looking to expand their business, and then somebody looking to kind of move up, move out of town, move into the country, things like that. So a fair amount of showings last week as well. And had some time, which was good, to meet up for lunch with Laura Mickler with Ruoff Home Mortgage, and Autumn Grismore, an agent as well, and kind of looked back on 2020, kind of talked about that. It was obviously an odd year in every sense of the word. I know it's not over yet, but we're looking back because now we're forecasting for 2021, which is a little more difficult than most years, obviously. But it was good to sit down and talk, the business side of things. So that was good. And then also met up with my friend Gary Coates, another agent, here in the office for breakfast at Mrs. Wicks in Winchester. So that was great as well. I did not leave with a pie. I thought about it, but I restrained myself since I had pancakes that morning. So, good kind of work conversation there as well. If you recall last week, and I'm thinking last week was the first week, I just kind of came up with a word of the week or something. I forget how I termed it, but so that was word of mouth. So we talked about word of mouth last week. This week, I thought of another word, so we'll do it again. The word of the week is motivation, and this business, the real estate business, the real estate game, whatever you want to call it. It doesn't matter the house, the property, the price of the home, the location of the home, whatever. It all comes down to motivation. That's all it is. What is that seller willing to take for their home or property? What is the buyer willing to purchase the property for? So I get asked a lot, especially when we're in negotiations. Hey, as a seller, here's the offer on the table. Curtis, should we take this offer? And the way I respond to that is basically with a bunch of data. Sorry about the sun. The price points, the comparable sales, what's active on the market, things like that. So I'm a numbers nerd. I like doing the data portion things, and I present that. But what it really comes down to is how motivated is that seller, and are they willing to sell for maybe, under their asking price. And the same thing's for the buyer. So I can give you all the all the information you could ever want as far as the market's concerned and data. And so when they, I have a fair amount of people ask, hey, what should I offer for this house? Again, I go over the numbers. I go, well, here's the market, here's the community, here's what's going on, here's, days on market, price per square foot. We go over all that. But, it comes down to how bad does somebody want that home? And the kicker is, I'm not paying for that home. I'm going to live there. So that's a little bit of a tough question to answer. And so it just comes down to motivation. So, a lot of sellers these days, they aren't highly motivated to come off the price a lot, just because the market's going so well and things are going so quickly. And then, which is fine. And then some are, maybe they're, needing to sell before a certain date or a certain season for whatever reason, and they are willing to negotiate. So it can run the gamut of, absolutely no motivation whatsoever, to, hey, we need to get this thing under contract within a week, or we're, either in trouble or have to do something different. So yeah, that's the word of the week, motivation. So looking into this week, don't want to miss my turn here. Looking into this week, right now I'm pulling in to replace a sign because of the winds the other night, blew my sign down, and so I'm putting up a new one. But other than that, I have a few appointments scheduled, very similar to last week. So now that I'm here, I'm going to get out in the wind and replace my sign. But thank you for watching, and we will see everybody next time. See ya.